Ciao! In today's lesson we are going to learn about Passato Prossimo, a type of past in Italian. There are many ways to express and describe the past. In fact, this one is a tense that is made of two parts. The first part is the verb to be or to have, called auxiliary, and the second part is the past participle of the verb. It is very specific because it's used to describe the past, but only the actions that are temporary, they are punctual and non-habitual. Okay, so we use it to describe actions, non-habitual, punctual and temporary. For example, ho salutato, or punctual, with a date, with a time. This is the structure. First, the auxiliary verb. Don't forget about it. And pay attention to the third person. The second part is the past participle. So if you have a verb like parlare, you remove the ending are and you put ato. You will have parlato. Ere, remove ere and put uto, creduto. Third group, ire, sentire, sentito. How do I know when to put to be or to have? It is very confusing. They say, well, it's verbs of movement. It is true that the majority of verbs needs the auxiliary verb to have. But there is a group of verbs called intransitive that need the auxiliary verb to be. And those are usually verbs indicating a movement. To go, to arrive, to leave, or a change, to become, to die, to be born, to grow. If you are confused, you can check on word reference if the verb is transitive or intransitive. How do you do it? Let's see. Let's check, for example, nascere, to be born. Here it says is intransitive, so it needs the verb to be. Let's check if it's true. Let's check the conjugator. And you have, oh yeah, sono nato, sono nata. Take note of these verbs. They are all used with the verb, the auxiliary verb to be. For example, sono andato, sono partito, sono uscito, sono diventato, sono nato. Oh, this one is different from the structure we saw of removing ere and putting uto. In fact, it's an irregular verb. There are many irregular verbs. Here I put some of them. You can find out the meaning of these verbs and check which auxiliary verb will I put here. Essere o avere. Pay attention to. With the auxiliary verb to have, the past participle never changes, but it does change and has to agree in gender and number with the subject if we use the auxiliary verb to be. For example, Pierpaolo e Giorgio sono andati. Here, plural masculine. Mariella è andata. But sometimes you might hear, hai comprato le pizze? Sì, le ho comprate. In fact, also with the auxiliary verb to have, the past participle can change and has to agree in gender and number, only when it is preceded by the personal pronoun lo, la, li and le. Let's see the example. Hai mangiato la pizza? Sì, l'ho mangiata. Okay, if you want to discover something more about transitive and intransitive verbs, go to this Un Mondo Italiano, and there you can find also some exercises for you. Grazie e alla prossima con l'imperfetto.